Hey, how's it going there, ladies and gentlemen? So for this video, I kind of want to talk about stuff I want to like catch up on or anime I want to like watch and stuff like that. So I do want to get started on Doctor Stone. I did watch like the first part of Doctor Stone. I left off at the part where they pretty much made Cola. That's pretty much what I can do without spoiling shit. So that's about it. So that's pretty much where I left on Doctor Stone. But I've heard a lot of good things about Doctor Stone, and the hype's still going on. Like it's on season 3 right now, or season three is going to come out. So I do want to catch up on Doctor Stone just to see what all the fuss is about because I do hear stuff about like the manga people talking about the story, like how just crazy it gets. But it is an anime, and it was pretty crazy when I watched it, just because of all the stuff that happened. So I think I'll give Doctor Stone another chance. um, Another anime I want to give a shot is Freelance. So I did read the manga, and I can't. And I didn't read the manga. I've only seen parts about the manga because people are like praising it when the manga was out, and then people were happy as shit when it got adapted. There's this one panel that got me really hard. I don't want to spoil anything heavy because I don't know if it's happened yet, but it involves Frieren crying and missing someone. So just that one manga panel alone said a lot. So I always wanted to give the manga a shot, but then the anime came out, and I didn't want to read ahead. I kind of just want to be an anime only for some new stuff here because I just been reading a lot of manga. Like I haven't been watching that much anime, just a bunch of manhwa and manga. So I do want to give the anime a chance because I don't know barely anything about it besides a couple of clips that I've seen here and there and all that. But other than that, I do want to give it a shot because I heard it's like a really good, just like, well, there's some action there, but I heard it's like a good like slice of life, heartfelt like show to watch. Another one I want to watch is Mushoku Tensei. So when I first saw this, I thought it was like another isekai and all that. But as the story as the anime kept going, it became more popular and people started like praising it more. The only thing I know about Mushoku Tensei is it's an isekai about this guy. He was a loser, a creep, and he died. Got isekai'd into a new world as a baby. And as a baby, he still has a mind of when he was an adult and all that. So he's still like a perverted little fuck. But I skimmed through. I do this sometimes. I looked at the latest chapter of Mushoku Tensei, and I was like, "What the fuck? This is a big change." I kind of want to give it a shot. I heard some good things about it. It's like people are saying it's a really like human story that's being told, and I do want to give it a shot. It looks pretty interesting. A lot of people like it, even though it has like a rough start from what I heard. I can only imagine, but I did hear about the maid, the mat. I did hear about that stuff just because of all the drama that was going on with Mushoku Tensei. But now all the drama's kind of like leading towards One Piece right now. It's kind of weird. I do want to watch MASH. So it's by the same person that made One Punch Man, and I was like, man. I mean, I did like Mob Psycho. Like Mob Psycho was like, God, I can't say it's better than One Punch Man. Like Mob Psycho, One Punch Man, like in my head, they're in like their own different like category and different league. I love them a lot. Mob Psycho, I love the story. The ending was a good ending, like good finishing start, good finishing part. One Punch Man in the manga right now, I feel like they're kind of changing. They changed the story up in a little bit once they got to a certain part, a certain enemy. I'm not gonna spoil the manga. Sorry. So I do want to catch. I do want to watch Mash. At least watch the first 3 episodes and see what I think of it. I do know it's about. It's about a super strong dude in this like apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic world, and there's like a bunch of magic people. But Mosh doesn't have like magic. He's just like extremely strong. Another one I want to talk about is Reincarnated as a Slime. So I was like anime only when I first watched this, and it was actually for some reason, maybe because I was like having a bad day at work. But when I first watched the slime episode, the first episode, then waiting next week for the second one, then waiting next week for the third episode. Like I was actually excited. And I was actually like looking forward to it because I was actually like liking it because I was really into I still have it downloaded, Age of Empires, and this totally reminded me of it because Rimuru going into this new world. He's a slime and he's like slowly building up his kingdom. Uh, I was a manga reader for the longest time, but I stopped when Rimuru turned into a demon. So the anime is past that part now. So I do want to catch up. I have not watched the anime. I believe I'll watch the second season, but I'll check. But I do want to catch up with Slime though because it was like a really. It did like I don't know. Think about the anime in the first season. It did feel like they changed a lot of stuff. Like they tried to give it that Gojo effect to it, if you know what I mean. But it just felt like they tried to like change something about the story that felt off-putting like compared to the manga. Because once I got to the Demon Lord, the pig dude, and once he was defeated in the anime, I straight just went to the manga and I just got hooked instantly and I loved it. So I do want to catch up on Slime. So, the anime I've been watching nowadays is just mostly I just started again. So One Piece I just started. I just watched the first 2 Egghead Island arcs and I love the new animation style. I love the new like design and artwork and just the way the movement feels more like you feel more immersed into the story, like more in the action, especially like Jinbei was escaping from the shark and just his reaction, just the way that it was like thought out to his reaction, to his arm movement, to his panicking voice, to his the way it was executed. I loved it a lot. I'm really excited for Egghead Island and all that and what's to come. Especially, God, there is like 2 fights in my head. like now I'm an anime watcher now. I really can't wait to see those animated. So I started reading Jujutsu Kaisen like it was like a recommendation from a channel from I think I went over it in my like, other like actually no I don't think I did. So I started reading in Jujutsu Kaisen because I want to look for his channel, but there's a recommendation I watched. It was like a recommendation for like Jagon, which is also a good manga in my opinion. I recommend it. I can't believe that one still hasn't been animated, but it is extremely like adult, like very violent. Like it's got some berserk themes in there, so I guess that makes sense. There's another one I forgot the name of it. It's like a guy who can turn into a fursuit demon, and then there's a naked girl that goes in there and can control him and have like superpowers. So that was the best way for me to explain it. There's some other stuff too. I'm just not remembering off the top of my head, but one of them was Jujutsu Kaisen, and I remember seeing like Itadori with like the Sukuna's mouth and go like that in the cover. So I was like, all right, let's see what it is. It looks dark and like demonish and all that. So I read through it, and basically I got to the part like basically before like the crazy shit happened, like before Maguraga came out and all that. That's when I stopped, and then the anime started, and I kind of like teeter-totter between reading the manga and the anime. I stopped reading the manga for a long time because I wanted to catch up with the anime, but I got spoiled what happened, you know, Gojo and all that stuff that's happening right now. I got spoiled, so I caught up with the manga and all that shit. So another manga I've been reading is One Punch Man. Now I've been ever since you know the anime came out, I just been reading One Punch Man, the newer up version, because ever since I saw the fight between King Centipede and Metal Bat in the manga, that was one of the best like action manga like panel fights I've ever seen. Like I just love the way it was executed. Like Metal Bat just smashing in the ground, just like having the whole entire city go, well, part of the city just like go up and all the cars go up too, and just him getting stronger and all that. So I'm loving the manga, especially what's going on right now. It's changed from One's original version, so they are changing things up. I don't want to spoil too much, but it is definitely like leaning towards like the original. Like I can't spoil too much. Darn it, my camera died there for a second. So I guess I'll talk about two more. One I'm reading. I'll talk about the ones I'm reading like right now, like most commonly. This one might be a surprise, but one of them is Dead Rock. It's made by the same person that made Eden Zero, which I have not seen. Only seen the first episode, first two episodes, but I got bored. I'm not gonna lie. And Fairy Tail. I still have not watched Rave Master yet, but that is on my list. But it's an older anime, and I don't know anything about it, so I'll hop on that too. But Fairy Tail, I actually did enjoy it because I watched it on Netflix when I was on Netflix, and the first like 48 episodes, I loved it a lot. It felt adventurous, it felt magical, it felt like a shonen. But then of course, you know, I watched the rest of it on other websites, and it's just like it definitely did lose its way after a while. Like the author, the mangaka, he writes for fun. I know he does. He writes for fun and all that, but there's definitely some weird stuff. Like the one part that first, like the things that first start to got me, like when they're going into Jalal's lair and like that bird guy that went against Gray and all that, or just the stuff that happens like with the arc and all that, or even the Grand Wizard games, like with dude, what's his name? I don't even remember his name. The White Dragon and the Shadow Dragon. Like I thought they were handled very poorly. Like the whole situation was weird. Like I don't know, but that was just me. But I did like the dragon part in that you know anime. I did not finish Fairy Tail. I kind of stopped after a while just because things just kind of got you know off the handlebar there. But Dead Rock. Okay, so imagine that same mangaka going all out, like straight up all out, no holding back, going rated R, like straight up. Like I'm not gonna lie, I wish I can explain this stuff in the manga without spoiling it, but there's definitely gore. Like right off the bat, there's gore, there is sexuality, there is violence. Like this is like definitely. When I first read the first two chapters, I was like, okay, this dude is going all out. I had not finished Eden Zero. I had not heard any reviews about it, so I think that was just like something that a lot of people skipped on. So I will say though, even with Dead Rock, he's still you know still using the same designs and all that. I will say with I will name one character Freya. She reminds me of I forgot what it's called, Blue Exorcist. That one girl that also has a fire bra too, and her hairstyle it definitely resembles her a lot. So I think he got his motivation from the one girl from Blue Exorcist. I'm about to look up that. Okay, that's another thing. I was reading the Blue Exorcist manga for the longest time. Then I watched the anime, and it's kind of what they did with Soul Eater. They changed it just a little itty bitty tad, eeny weeny little bit, and kind of just threw me off. But I do want to catch up with the manga Blue Exorcist, and I do want to you know catch up on that. But off topic. So Red Rock, how can I explain this without spoiling? Is about a kid. He goes to this like hell area. There's three different dimensions, like hell, angels, and then the human realm and all that. So basically, he's going here to like achieve his goal. So he's like so it's weird. So there's of course like some entrance exam stuff before they get to Red Rock to kind of weave down the competition and all that. And once the people enrolled, they're just like, I don't know what they're there for, because they're able to like kill other people there without any it's hell. It's like a very anarchy story, like very anarchy-ish. And I don't want to spoil his powers. Actually, no, I think nah, well, but I'll just say the story so far is basically this kid. He's going to this. He wants to kill God. Is said on chapter 2. So he wants to kill the god there because he believes he is corrupted and all that, and that's what we got so far. So in the story, I do want to say there is some crazy parts. There is like students getting chopped up by giant pig monster kitchen chef dudes. There are people getting their heads chopped off, and people are trying to like make it like play it off by putting someone's head on top of that body and all that. There's some crazy shit going on. I do like the powers because there's like I will talk about this. There's like roots. There's like lich roots and all these different like god roots that are connected to these people. So kind of like that's their power and all that. So actually, I am going to spoil the main characters of Powers and Dead Rock if you don't want to get spoiled. He's basically Acnologia. So that's about it. Like straight up Acnologia's design. So that's all I will say about Dead Rock. I do not know how to explain this manga without spoiling too much that I already have. Like it's pretty much what I said. It's special. Imagine the author of Fairy Tail and Eden Zero just going rated R, just going all out. Basically, that's what it is. So the last one I'll talk about is manhwa, not a manga. It's Tower of God. So I've been reading Tower of God for the longest time. When it got its anime adaptation, I'm not gonna lie, I was extremely excited, but I felt like they were trying to experiment too much on it. Like I do like the animation, the way they use the swords and the dude, what's the name of the sword? It's not the 13th. The March, I believe. I think it was the March sword. So like the way that was used and all that, like I really I do like it, but I don't feel like when people watched it, like I watch people's reactions, I don't feel like they're really invested into the story because this is like the very beginning, like basically it is a prologue. Actually, it was because I remember like towards the end, it is a prologue. So I don't know. I saw that the second season is coming out in the summer, and my heart almost pumped out of my chest. I'm very excited for that, especially with the next part to happen. I have not read that part, Tower God, for the longest time. I felt like that part happened like a half a decade ago. I doubt, but things will definitely get interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I might have to reread the manga. It will take a very long time. It is a very long story, but what's going on right now with everything? It's like basically what's going on in One Piece right now. Everything in Tower God, everything is starting. All the story, all the components of the story are starting to come together and starting to like all the mysteries are starting to be revealed. So with with Bam, he is definitely one of the most powerful people in the tower and all that. He just like he enters as an irregular with Rachel and all that, and he goes through the try to find Rachel, and that's all he really wants to do. So I'll tell you now from the prologue to the rest of the story, like the plot constantly changes over and over and over. Well, the plot twists constantly over and over and over. Bam, his goals constantly change, his intuition constantly change. His character definitely changes too throughout what goes on in the story because he starts off as a wimpy kid just wanting to hang out with Rachel, and he's going through literally all the trials of the tower, just going through all this different shit, and now he's a pretty hardened battle fighter going against the strongest people in the tower. So that's all I'm really going to say without spoiling shit. But like he's not going against the strongest people in the tower, but he's definitely a very strong character now. But what I will say, what I like about Tower of God is same thing. The person that writes Tower of God, he just writes it for fun. It was a story he wrote when he was in the war, just like or after he was in the army, and just started like writing stuff down, started making stories, and he just writes it for fun. There's a lot of wacky elements in Tower of God too, like a lot of wacky characters. You can tell he is writing for fun, but it does not feel like it'll throw the story off. Like there's some wacky characters, but they'll do something very ferocious, or they'll do something very like I guess epic later on in the story. So there's like it's like One Piece and Bleach, where there's constantly a bunch of characters coming into the story over and over and over. Like when you saw with the prologue, there's gonna be like different trials in every single floor, and as they keep going, it'll get harder and harder, and you'll see stronger characters and different, I guess, factions of the tower, different like groups and all that. You'll see different powers. So I'm really excited for season 2. I don't know how to talk about season 2 without spoiling it. I'm sorry, but I'm very hyped for it, and I really want to see how Bam's like development like grows within the anime because I kind of want to watch the anime without rereading the manhwa. I'm not gonna lie, but I have to wait a whole summer for that. So, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this interesting video. Just want to make it real quick while I'm getting everything all set up here. So, yeah.